Hey guys, Juliana, your automotive woman here in Manchester, Vermont to compete in the Land Rover Defender Trophy Edition Adventure competition. This is going to be epic. All I've been told is to dress the part, multiple socks, different shoes. We're gonna be going through mud, epic trails. And my teammate and I, we're gonna switch in between being driver and navigation. We have 6 hours to complete 13 different stages. Let's do this. Let's go! Canada! Let's go! You're
gonna have this cycle and one more.
Okay, before we get into it, let me give you a bit more background because a lot went on during this competition. First, the Land Rover Defender Trophy Edition competition is inspired by the Camel Trophy competition, which began in the 80s and was referred to as the Olympics of 4x4. Teams went through a variety of challenges, testing their skills as a driver and the capabilities of the Defender. Now, fast forward to this year where I was partnered with Louis Phillip, a fellow media representative from Canada. Now to clarify, prior to this competition, I didn't know who LP was, but thank God, he's amazing and in shape like myself because these challenges were tough. Anyways, LP and I were Team Canada on the media side. Then there was also a US media team and 2 celebrity teams made up of Ant Ansted from Wheelers and Dealers. He also co-owns Radford Motors with Formula 1 World Champion Jenson Button, but he's also famously dating Renee Zellweger, name drop. Well, he was partnered with his good friend Dan Mace, who's also a well-known YouTuber and an amazing filmmaker. The other celebrity team was made up of NHL player turned world adventurer Brooks Laish and 2-time world champion skier Chris Davenport. And technically, Brooks and Chris had help from Brooks's dog Coda, but I'll get into that later. The other teams were made up of Land Rover owners, all competing to win a trip to the Land Rover Defender Trophy Edition Adventure Competition finale in England. Now, let's get started. The night before the competition, all the teams met inside this super cozy lakeside pavilion to hear the rules and to be taught how to use certain features on the Land Rover Defender 90 Trophy Edition model, which is fully equipped. We also presented our team flags and some of us, or maybe just me, put everyone on notice that I was out to win. So my digital persona, I just review cars and I do special features on race cars still. And that's it. Subscribe, like, share. And I'm gonna win. After a brief morning pep talk where teams were given instructions, maps, and of course layout, some of us were ready to go, and others, game on. Not so much. Stage 1, task number 1 was all about finding our Defender 90 trophy keys. Teams were given clues to follow as we ran through Mount Equinox in Manchester, Vermont. Myself, LP, and more than a few others got lost in the woods, but thankfully we connected with our newfound friends from Texas and we teamed up to locate our keys together, and once we did, let me tell you, it was nerve-wracking. So to clarify, I don't swim. So to be tasked with running on water to fetch our keys was petrifying to me, but because I was wearing rubber boots and rain pants, my teammate thought it would be a good idea to nominate me for this challenge. And here's how that went.
It's possible. She weighs half as much as us, but
I know, that's the problem.
After surviving my walking on water miracle and a brief celebration with LP, we hustled back to the starting point where we picked up our Defender 90 trophy, where we were given instructions to head up Mount Equinox, where we encountered 3 more tasks, such as posing with our team flag, a rat trap, what the hell is a rat trap, building a teepee without tools, and finally a hill descent speed limit test without having our brakes catch fire, true story, all of which were timed and scored, and those challenges went like this.
self-supported for a minimum of 20 seconds.
So, but I'm allowed to push it into the ground, right?
No, no, you cannot pound them into the ground.
No, but push it?
Nope.
Oh.
No, you can't push, pound, sit on, push, anything like that.
Like as high as you can, like this. Yeah. So it's flying. And then I'll try and rope it.
So if you can get that to stand like that, you guys will be good to go. Yeah.
4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Woo! Boom!
71.
The off-road course was tough. Essentially, throughout the off-road course, we encountered 7 different tasks. First, teams were asked to rope the Defender around a tree using the front tow hook and pulleys. Then we had to drive through a narrow off-road course with elevation changes, rocks, protruding objects, and if you hit something, you lost points. Then there was a balance beam test, a winch challenge that was followed by an incredibly challenging off-road cone test. Then there was a hijack challenge, and then finally a time trial course where teams had to match their partner's time as closely as possible. Again, everything was timed and we were given 15 minutes to complete each task. And here's how all of those went. The pulleys were pretty easy thanks to an 85-gram sugary chocolate chip cookie I ate prior to the challenge, although I did fall on my ass trying really hard. The off-road course was amazing for several reasons. Number one, LP and I navigated each other through it quickly and without penalties. But as a driver, you really got the chance to experience the Defender's weight transfer, which was really smooth and solid. Then there was the balance beam challenge. Not only did I have to navigate my partner over the balance beam, but first you had to locate the wood panels using a compass, then you had to build it, drive over it, and dismantle the beam, all under pressure of a clock. But the overall balance of the Defender was showcased in this challenge, and it was beyond impressive given the fact that the wood panels were only inches wide.
Yeah, sure you can.
Yeah, you good, buddy?
Yep.
Alright. Okay. Just keep doing what you're doing, baby.
Don't walk backwards.
Yeah, don't work backwards.
There you go.
Nice and straight. Nice and straight. Yeah, a little bit that way. Straight. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Keep it coming. The most challenging part of the winch task was actually getting up the hill to set it up because I was wearing rubber boots. So LP and I swapped positions. He sat in the Defender while I set up the winch, and the rest was so easy. LP wasn't allowed to use the throttle while I pulled him up using the wireless winch remote, and it was super impressive how easily the winch pulled the Defender up the very steep hill. Because every task had a time limit of 15 minutes, we had to pick and choose our battles wisely because at this point, we were also stuck behind a slower team. That aside, LP and I only received a 50% point score on the cone challenge because we had to rush it. Long story short, the task was to use all Defender 90 trophy features to our advantage, to hit cones in a bullseye. And while sometimes we hit, and other times, and not so much.
Right! Left, 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 left! On left! No, we're gonna miss it!
Man, oh man, the hijack challenge is something I never want to experience again in my life. But at this point, I was super grateful I had a teammate who was in shape, because this was hard and it definitely challenges physically and mentally.
What's that? Canada! Let's go!
You're gonna have this cycle and one more.
Oh, come on!
After successfully burning through my 85 gram of chocolate chip cookie energy on the hijack challenge, the time trial course was a breeze. Essentially, both LP and I navigated each other through an off-road course with the focus on getting as close as possible to the same time without the assistance of a stopwatch, watch, or time indicator. Although stressful, at this point, we'd put our Defender 90 trophy through its paces, so we were both really comfortable and confident behind the wheel, but I'm not gonna lie, it was still scary. So after 6 hours and 11 tasks completed, LP and I failed to complete every challenge, but many of our competitors didn't finish as well. And going into the awards ceremony, my teammate and I were confident we completed the tasks well, not perfect, but pretty damn well. And this is what happened.
Oh, I was first! Oh, no, I was first!
It's 189 points. It was team 13.
So I didn't win. LP and I finished third, Brooks Leish and Chris Davenport won, but technically they cheated because they had Brooks's dog Coda helping them along the way. And his partner Dan finished second, but here are my final thoughts. So when I started today, everybody warned me that the Land Rover Defender Trophy Edition Adventure Competition was going to be epic. This doesn't even begin to explain how extreme this adventure was. The inclines, the descents, all the obstacles, right, just were next level. This was amazing, highly recommend it, and you have to purchase a Defender Trophy Edition to come on these type of adventures. This was awesome. Guys, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out to Tuesday's Feature Car Friday. Huge, huge shout out to Land Rover Canada, Land Rover US. Awesome job, guys.
Let's say Defender, 1, 2, 3. Defender! On 3, let's say Trophy, 1, 2, 3. Trophy!